Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a wonderful hump day. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is the day to go out there and hump like rabbits, because it is indeed hump day. With me tonight is the useless Cook. Hey, how you doing, Cook?
Live and kicking.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to have a dead guy on the show.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm opposed. I'm just saying it'd be weird.
Well, you do have to kill zombies, so it'd be kind of weird too, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's a special election in California.
Yeah.
Katie Hill's, what's the word I'm looking for here? Biologically stained seat is up for grabs. If you guys don't remember Katie Hill, she is the California congresswoman who resigned in shame because photos of her leaked out of her doing things she shouldn't be doing. For instance, nakedly brushing the hair of a campaign staffer she was having a three-way relationship with. Oops.
Yeah.
And then it was rumored she was banging somebody who worked in her congressional office. We never got more information on that. She's like, no, I didn't take his penis. We don't know for sure, but she did run really fast. She tucked tail and ran.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's a special election tonight. The voting is over. The counting is being done. And last I saw, the Republican who lost to Miss Hill is winning pretty well. At least last I looked. Let's do an update of that, shall we? Mr. Mike Garcia, 79,000 votes to Christy Smith's 62,000, 56% to 44.
Pretty close.
Rutrow Shaggy. I don't know. This is with 76% reporting. I don't know if there's if there's anything that has more of an update. Let's see. No, that's the most updated thing I can find. It looks like this might go to the Republicans. Good job, Katie, out there licking your staffers in ways you shouldn't.
Yeah.
There's she didn't win by a whole lot. She beat Mike Garcia, but it wasn't like a landslide. So him running again for the seat that she, probably should have had papers down to sit on it's kind of a no-brainer. But I hear, and I haven't seen, so I can't verify this, but I hear Cenk Uygur's losing his mind. Cenk is losing his mind because, well, the Democrats are screwing up again. But more importantly than that, you guys know this is the same seat that Cenk Uygur ran for.
Yeah.
That's right. This is the seat that he wanted to go have as one of those progressive AOC types. Oh, what a dick.
Well, California is pretty well mixed when it comes to, the Republican and Democrat thing. It is mostly Democrat.
Yeah, I believe this seat, though, this is California's 25.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's been Republican for a little while.
Yeah.
She took it from Republicans, even though this wasn't an incumbent thing. It was a Republican seat. Becca, thank you for dropping the Streamlabs link. Yeah, guys, remember, brought to you by you. If you enjoy what you hear, please hit the like button. Please share. And if you can, shekels are always nice. So the Democrats are screwing up again.
Yeah.
You had it. Miss Hill, you didn't have to resign. I was forced out. She wasn't. She wasn't forced out. She quit in shame.
Yeah, she didn't have to resign.
No, she didn't. The pictures that came out, there were two main ones. There was the one where she's sitting for some reason completely naked, brushing her staffer's hair, who is completely dressed. Terry Diamandis, thank you. I think that Cenk was just upset that Katie's three-way only included humans. That could be the problem because he's got some animalistic tendencies in him. Yeah. YouTube, don't get mad at me. Cenk Uygur thinks it's okay to have sex with animals as long as you're doing it for the animal's pleasure.
That's just weird.
I am not spreading rumors here. This came out of his own fucking mouth over there on the Young Turks, who get money from YouTube. And I'm not talking their ad revenue. I mean a grant to go out there and make better content. Go out there and make better horse cock sucking content. Because that's what you really need. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I just said horse cock sucking.
Yeah, it hasn't been 5 minutes yet.
Yeah, fuck. Look, YouTube. Go ahead and give me the yellow circle. But while you're at it, why don't you give me one of those fat young Turk checks that you got going around? You silly sons of bitches. Yeah, I say fucking make horrible jokes, but at least I don't talk about sincerely talk about having sex with animals the way the Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks does. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He wanted to be so Cenk Uygur wanted to be the congressman from here, right? And Bernie Sanders endorsed him. He got the endorsement of Bernie Sanders in California. This should have been a great thing for him. But then people started pointing out some of the shit Cenk has said. And Cenk's like, ooh. And Bernie's like, he told me he didn't want endorsements. Oh, God. It's fucking beautiful. He actually said that because Bernie is like, I endorse him, and all this shit comes out, and Cenk is like, I don't want endorsements to be. I can't do a Cenk Uygur. I don't want endorsements to hurt Bernie Sanders, so I don't even accept them. And Bernie's like, oh, thank fuck, I don't have to take this back. With in a more salacious way. So yeah, Cenk, he finished what, 4th or 5th in the primary. The way California does it, correct me if I'm wrong here, Useless. You guys have like 7 people running in the primary. The top 2 get to run in the general, and it could end up being 2 Republicans. It could end up being 2 Democrats, or it could end up Democrat-Republican.
Yeah, you should have a mail-in ballot that you do a few months before the election. And
Cenk, he finished way down bottom. He wasn't the lowest. But he could have been.
Well, he wasn't running for my district, so I didn't have a chance to vote for anybody.
If anybody wants to go to the Young Turks and say the Ranting Monkey Show says, hi, loser, I wouldn't be opposed. I'm not telling you to engage in that kind of behavior because that would be harassment. So do not do that. But if you want to. Way to cost him the election, you horse-loving freak.
Yeah, we'll say a quick shout-out intro to donating $3 to my Streamlabs, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the donations, guys. You're amazing, and we love you.
Yeah.
He says, the way I heard it, that's correct. Look, I can't blame Cenk for losing this race. He didn't do it. She did. Katie Hill cost the Democrats this seat by being a dirty slut, spreading her juices everywhere.
You know what they say, power corrupts, you know?
I think her vagina corrupts.
Yeah.
The other picture, because you have the one of the hairbrush, the other one is her in a shower naked with a giant bong.
Ugh.
I
mean, it is legal in California now. Yeah.
What's that?
Well, it's legal in California now to smoke marijuana, so.
Yeah, look, I don't care if she smokes. It's none of my fucking business, to be honest with you. But the one with her brushing her staffer's hair, and look, there's a lot of people who are against marijuana who are like, yeah, fuck you. How dare you? But these are not good pictures that came out. And instead of riding out the storm, she's like, oh, I'm going to quit. And then she went and she started a GoFundMe. I'm not kidding. That is true, ladies and gentlemen. She started a GoFundMe to stop people from revenge porn. This wasn't revenge porn. It wasn't. This was her. She says her husband did it, which, I mean, is fine, but this is just somebody leaking relevant thing. You were having sexual relations with one of your staffers, and this proved it.
It was a man that.
Go ahead.
It was a man to be the other way around. They all mad at him, you know, and saying yes.
Yeah, the poor girl that was involved in the threesome from the campaign. Last we heard, she was having mental issues.
Ugh.
There's something wrong with Katie Hill's vagina that causes people who lick it to go insane.
Maybe it's like bad as Amy Schumer's.
Could be. Maybe it's stanky. Maybe
Yeah.
she got down there and some wafting went up into her brain and she just got all kind of loopy. But she had some really bad reaction to the breakup. And last we heard, she was not doing well mentally. Don't fuck your staffers. I don't know why people running for Congress need to be told that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they make the Democrats think they could get away with it, you know?
Becca says a confirmed lick. It sounds like it. I mean, we don't know that she licked the puss, but we do know that she was in a relationship with Hill and her husband. And most of what we heard was with Hill. And there was some what was it? Was it a phone call that was released or text messages that were released, something like that? And it seemed definitely to be between Hill and the girl. And yeah, it's good night, Paul. Have a good one, bud.
Yeah, have fun, man.
Becca says, I'm down for some speculation. Look, they might have been scissoring. I don't know. It could have been no tongue contact like a hooker.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
They could have licked the tour cave, you
know. Hey, Monk, don't know if there's anything else I need to do with Streamlabs. What are you trying to do with Stream? You mean StreamYards? If you're trying to get in here, because I did send you the link, all you got to do is click on it, and it should bring it up, and you'll have to click on another button that'll bring you into the studio. And then you can, if you want, pick an avatar. I think you can do it on the previous screen as well. And then I will bring you in from there. You should be able to just click in, and as long as your mic is being received, it'll pick you up.
Just make sure you turn your camera off if you don't want it.
Indeed. Who won the election? We're still looking. Let me see. I don't think it's been called yet. Last I saw, it hadn't been.
Garcia is still leading.
Did I put this?
I had it up too.
There it is. It doesn't seem to have been updated. We're still at 76% reporting. Let's see. It's 314 of 411 precincts. 141,999 votes.
Yeah.
Look, this is California, and we're talking about what is it, LA and Ventura counties?
Yeah.
It could go to her, to old Christy Smith, the victim. we went over Christy Smith's Twitter one day on the show, and yeah, she's a moron. She's a moron. She's Katie Hill without the fun sex stories.
Yeah.
At least Katie Hill made herself interesting, you know. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Mike Garcia wins, because Donald Trump came out for Mike Garcia 3 days ago, something like that. I fully support Mike Garcia, he said, something to that effect. And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be hurting Mike right now. Seems like, look, there's still 24% of the precincts that can report in. They have to go in there, guys. It's taking a while because they have to get those absentee ballots and fill them out.
Yeah.
So that they can have it. One county, all go for Christy Smith. One precinct, just enough to win. I'm sorry, I can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the Democrats have ever done that, but it certainly seems to be. Over here, I'm watching this on the New York Times, and they have a live blogger, Jennifer Medina.
Oh, yeah.
Says, if Garcia indeed wins, expect Democrats to downplay the loss by saying the special election is too idiosyncratic to draw lessons for the fall.
Yeah.
If he wins, it's not really that big of a deal, guys.
No.
Let's be honest. As I said, this is a seat that before Katie Hill won it and spread her juices all over it, and her friends' juices as well, was a Republican seat. So, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it is in the fact it does show that the push to hate Donald Trump isn't working.
No.
The push to label Republicans as just horrible people that want to kill you isn't working.
Nope.
That is a bellwether. I always fuck up your name. I think it's Atima. Is that how you say it?
I can't say it either.
12 points is a big difference. You're not wrong. It is a big difference, especially, I believe don't quote me on this, guys, but I want to say the original Katie Hill, Mike Garcia battle was down to like 5%, something like that. But with 120% of the precincts reporting in, right? No shit. Yeah, we'll see that. Yeah. All of the mail-in ballots went for Miss Christy Smith, and it just happened to be 3 more than needed to win. Yeah. Oh God. Of course, Democrats are going to downplay it. If they won, of course, they would be like, "Yeah, look, see, people hate Trump," and Republicans will be like, "Yes, look, this shows. This is in California, you guys." The only thing that I really do think is it is kind of a bellwether for the fact that the push to try to hate on Trump and hate on all Republicans isn't working.
Well, they even did the article just saying Trump had middling approval rates. I'm like, that's not already important for this.
Atema, is that okay? I know I'm saying it wrong still. You can try to correct me as much as you want. Ain't gonna work. Somebody actually said the name to me several times on another stream where I was mispronouncing it. I'm sorry. It's how I am. I try. I really do. I just suck. Atema.
Yeah, she said it was right. Atema, yeah.
Good luck getting me to say it that way again. Just doesn't work out. Sorry. I do my best.
Well, everybody can have an easy name like mine,
Yeah, I mean, Cook is easy to say.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. I need more reporting, damn it. Why are they not updating this more? I want to see this called for Mike. And I want to see this called for Mike, guys. Not because I care that he's a Republican. I want to see Cenk melt down. I really do. These Ranting Monkey, you get my name right when Ghastly and Drunko fail every time. Well, I used to call you because it's Caramon. I used to call you Carmen. Is that? I used to screw it up, and then I noticed the second A. Just to be honest, not to downgrade my buddies. Love both of them, but they can't read because one's British and one's a ghost.
You're a Italian, but I think it's my end.
There's not really much more to say here until we get more results. So, Monkey, are the Turks live streaming? I'm sure they are. I had forgotten about the election. I put it in, I think, in the title of one of my last 2 streams, and I don't remember which. And I don't know if I actually ended up mentioning it in the stream itself. I knew this was coming up. I talked about it maybe a week or 2 ago when they announced that, yes, they are still holding the election because, COVID and all that. But looks like a couple 100,000 people came out to vote. I don't know if that's good for this area or not. And
well, that area is heavy populated, so it's kind of low.
Yeah, but see, I mean, it might be low for the population, but I don't know how low it is for their normal turnout.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to that. So,
but I do think it'll be funny if they end up losing a seat when they put so much hatred, and if they end up losing a seat, you know what they'll do? If they lose this seat, they will blame it on COVID.
Yeah. They will blame it on COVID now.
Atema says that's a rather high turnout for that area. I'm from that area. Oh, okay. Did you go vote? I'm not going to ask you who you voted for, but did you vote today? Did COVID keep you at home, or did you go? Go to Cenk Uygur Twitter 4 hours ago. Oh, sure. Yeah, let's check in on old Cenky boy. Am I allowed to follow Cenk? I don't know if I am. I don't know if I've pissed him off before. Oh, no, I can still read.
Nice.
Let's see. It pisses me off so much that Republicans outvote us when we have more people. We have to fix this dynamic. Christie for 25 lost tonight despite Dems having an advantage in California 25. We should unite around policy so we can unite electorally to send Mike Garcia home in November.
Oh,
Cenky boy. Cenky. Here, listen to me. I need you to listen. Nobody stayed home because they were Bernie supporters. Nobody stayed home because they were Democrats who were like, I just hate this bitch. Stop it. We have more people. No, you don't. See, this is some bullshit that they've been lying about for a while. There's more Democrats out there. No. That's what your polls might tell you when you run them in fucking California or New York.
And it depends what parts of the state you do it in too.
It also let me even say this. Let's say Democrats have more Democrats than there are Republicans.
Yeah.
There's still more Republicans and independents combined than there are just Democrats.
Yep. It
breaks down about 35, and 20. That's or 30. That's what about breaks down to. Republicans have had a bit of a loss, according to polls, but those numbers haven't gone to Democrats. They've mostly gone to the independent column. So shut up, dude. You're a fucking moron. As Kara for Congress wins her, is that Nebraska 2 primary tonight? Revisit Cenk Uygur and John, I don't know how to say his name. Reaction when she clinched victory back in 2018. Who cares? Let's see. On Fox News, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, and Ingram Engel all attacked Dr. Fauci for art and argued for reopening. Well, a lot of the red states are. We'll find out who is right soon enough. Unfortunately, will they apologize or be taken off the air if they're wrong and thousands more die? Motherfucker, you're still allowed on the air when you talked about having sex with animals, which is actually illegal. Are there any states where it's okay to jack off a horse because you're trying to be nice to the horse?
I don't think so.
Faithless, yeah. Will he if they don't? Right. Fauci did not come out and say, don't reopen anything. He said, we need to. Oh, God, they're going to make me start talking about this. I did a show on this. I did an after party last night. Well, yesterday, really.
Yeah, I watched it. So.
Talking about, I watched the testimony, and maybe there was some more where Fauci's like, don't open the states, you pussies. He said, we need to be very careful opening them. The same shit he's been saying, same stuff. Nobody is saying don't open. They're saying you have to follow these specific guidelines. You need to, what did Fauci say? You got to make sure that your decline in new cases is low enough. And then you go into part 1 and then part 2 and phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. It's like it's some weird Marvel movie thing. GK Travel says, many, I think. Otherwise, race house sperm collection is going to be very tricky. No. Specifically to pleasure the animal. There's a difference with like breeding.
Yeah.
Oh God, I want to see this asshole lose or this woman lose because she annoyed me. She annoyed me on Twitter one day. That's the only reason I knew her name, Christy Smith.
What? She was being a Karen.
What Christy's saying? I wonder what Christy's saying over on the Twitter machine right now. I wonder if she's hopeful. I like that Cenk has already declared that she lost. 4 hours ago, he's already declared that she lost. Has she conceded? I wonder.
I know none of the articles I've been reading says she has.
Where is it? Christy for California. Her Her last tweet was 7 hours ago when she said, "Thank you, Sen Coast Labor, for this honor. I'm proud to stand with working families," because they had, I guess, let's see, due to the COVID-19, this year's Labor Leader of the Year dinner will be canceled. This year, one of the leaders to be honored is Christy for California 25 as Working Families Champion. Dun, dun, dun. Too bad. Too bad, Katie. Or sorry, Christy. I said Katie because they're in the recommended, when you go to her page, at least for me, it brings up Katie Hill. Why am I going to follow that dirty bitch? I wonder what she's saying. Nothing. They're all quiet, so fuck them. I don't care anymore.
I saw the post. Check your girl only has 9,000 votes.
Yeah, Cenk got his ass whipped in this thing. It was sad. Funny, but sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else we got going on. I don't care about COVID tonight. I really don't. Howard Stern said some stupid shit.
Just any noise?
You know, I don't hate Howard Stern.
No, I don't either. It's just...
But this is what he said. The oddity in all of this is the people Trump despises most love him the most. The people who are voting for Trump, for the most part, he wouldn't even let them in a fucking hotel. He'd be disgusted by them. Go to Mar-a-Lago. See if there's any people who look like you. I'm talking to you in the audience. I'm betting there are. I'm betting there's some people who work there.
Yeah.
Who are lower to middle class. I'm just going to throw that out there. Howard, how many of your audience do you talk to? I mean, you do it on the phone where you don't actually have to see him or be in contact with him. He's a weird germaphobe kind of person. Well, so you see your audience is dirty.
You can't talk to him because you don't look like him, you know. So
you want to talk about that, Howard? Why do you think your audience is dirty? Huh? Why you gotta hide in your house? You fucking pussy.
I don't really pay.
Hi, Dangerous.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Not too bad. Wow, you have a thick Aussie accent.
Oh, it's going.
Yes, I do. Sorry, it's not as attractive as far as. Hang on.
No, it's not. I just wasn't ready for that. I knew you were from down there, but you sound like you should be in a Crocodile Dundee movie.
I can't even really know how to respond to that.
From an American, that's a compliment.
Fair enough.
So don't be. I know you guys get offended by some of the things the world thinks about you, and some of it's. I mean, I don't blame you for it, but like, yeah, that is a compliment coming from an American. We love Croc Dundee, so.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily offense so much. It's more just we kind of hear the same misinformation all the time, and it gets frustrating after a while.
Well, we know like 4 things about you.
Yeah, that you love Fosters, you know.
We know Fosters.
I don't know where that actually. I presume I don't even know if that's made in Australia anymore because I've never. Not. Yeah, because I can't think of anywhere I've ever been where I've actually seen Fosters. I assume it's round.
Well, it's because
sorry,
it's because all the ads used to, you know, Australia. That's why.
Yeah. So, I assume it's round somewhere. I'm sure if I went to a pub somewhere, I'd see it, but I can't think of the last time I saw Fosters. It's not very common here.
We know Steve Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We know Crocodile Dundee, and we know Vegemite. That's all we know.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Caramon, you're right. We also know Shrimp on the Barbie. But that's not our fault, man. That was a movie or something, wasn't it?
It was a tourism ad. Had Paul Hogan in it. Yeah, had Crocodile Dundee in it.
There you go. Yeah, so I mean, it's not our fault. It's the advertising. Most of us don't leave the country.
It's too expensive.
We just Men at Work. Stop it, P-Dog. That's from the 80s. Nobody cares about them anymore. And I liked Men at Work. Don't get me wrong. And Faithless said it as well. Both of y'all stop it, you old motherfuckers.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if you heard this. Men at Work actually got sued because I presume if I said Men at Work, there would be one song specifically that you guys would think of.
Yeah.
There's a couple actually.
I only think of the one.
What's the one that they did on Scrubs? I forget the name of it.
Shivers, I can't think. I don't know if that's technically a Men at Work song or if it's just the main guy himself.
I thought that they did it. They had sung it as well.
They may have. I'm not sure.
But Land
the main
Down
one
Under.
Land Down Under. So that's the main one. I don't know if you guys ever heard this. It might have just been an Australian story. They got sued because of a traditional Australian. Well, traditional is probably the wrong word. That would kind of invoke Aboriginal. But there's an Australian song that they say they took the riff from. So they actually got sued for that song and had to pay a whole bunch of money for it.
Overkill. Yes, that's the name of the song from Scrubs.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I've watched I think I might have watched all of Scrubs, even that crappy last season where they
I didn't watch. I watched like 4 episodes. I'm like, nope, fuck it.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. It wasn't Scrubs. I didn't mind it, but it definitely wasn't Scrubs. It just wasn't the same.
Dom says Overkill, the acoustic version, much better than the original. I don't know if I heard it growing up. I probably did, but it's not a song that stuck in my head. And then I saw it on Scrubs, and I loved it on Scrubs. And then I heard my son listen to the original version. I'm like, that's wrong. Dude, play the other one. That's how I am. Whatever I hear first, it doesn't matter if it's the cover or the original. Like, whichever one I hear first is the right one.
And to Kylis, Mel Gibson is actually technically not Australian. He kind of grew up here, but he was born. I think he was born in Queens, from memory. Yeah,
he's a transplant.
Yeah.
Some people brought up didgeridoos, and what was the other one that I saw that? Dingo Ate My Baby. That's not as popular as it used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do know don't leave babies around dingoes. They will steal that shit.
I don't know what the current status of that is. I think the current status is they've determined that she didn't kill a baby, that it might have actually been taken.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on it, and yeah, they that poor woman. If that is true, that poor woman.
Yeah.
They've discovered. Yeah, Dingo probably stole her baby.
Yeah, because it's kind of gone back and forth on whether or not she killed the baby or whether it was actually taken.
Yeah, don't fuck with a dingo, man. Apparently they're crazy.
Yeah.
This is a good time to remind you guys, we are brought to you by you. Please hit the like button. Please share. And if you can, toss money at me because I like it. Toss money at Useless and Dangerous. Do you have a Streamlabs?
No.
All right. Throw money at me for Dangerous Spaces. I'm not giving it to them. But it's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I can use money for my ingredients,
Anyway, Dangerous. This is the first time we've ever got to speak, man. Do you want to tell the audience about yourself?
Well, probably the main one that I annoy everyone with is I've been enjoying listening to political commentary for the last few years because I did a journalism degree. And it wasn't really until I actually got out and started properly looking around. I noticed this a little bit while I was getting my degree.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until I started looking around at journalism and the media afterwards, I looked around and went, man, these guys are really biased and really, they are, I don't know the word I'm looking for. They're, I suppose propaganda outlets. I don't know if that's too harsh, but I was looking at them going, why did I get this thing? I enjoyed the process. The process was really, really good. But I just don't know if I could work in the industry.
So you don't currently?
No. I'm in contact with someone that actually works here in Australia. I've tried to get like a reasonable contact in Brisbane. Where I live, I just haven't actually haven't got hold of them yet.
Oh, over on the Streamlabs. Hang on one second, guys. I was doing some producing back here. The Harry channel, thank you so much. Don't give this money to Dangerous Spaces. Thanks. Your wish is my command.
Oh, that's sweet.
It happens.
Have you considered doing something independent?
Yeah, I technically the YouTube channel that I talked to you guys in the chat on does actually have a couple of videos. I just found that when I did them, they were just taking me so long, and I just ended up wanting to cover everything. And so I've got a I've been thinking about it, getting into it again, seeing as we're all stuck at home and there's nothing to do. But I've just got to figure out how to do it where I'm not having to pause. Because the last one I did, I think, took maybe a week and a half. I was replying to the stupid Vox video that Stephen Crowder responded to that got everything in trouble last time. I presume you guys saw the one where they were talking about Fox News and whatever they said, that Fox News was influencing all the rest of the media.
Oh, God, yes, that stupid thing.
Yeah, so I did a response to that, and it ended up being a 40-minute video, and it took so long to do. And I just looked and went, I like doing it. It's really enjoyable, but that's just a lot of work for one video. I just need to figure out a way to maybe do shorter videos. One thing I have been looking at is starting to basically look back through the history of the media over the last few years and do basically where they're clearly being negligent or just being outright dishonest, and maybe just doing little clips every kind of few days that people can pass on to someone else, and they can say, look, here's an example of the media being biased or the media being just outright dishonest, and just have a playlist of that I build up over time.
Sure.
So yeah.
We'll get into some dishonest media in a minute here. Mike Garcia, there's an update. 81% of precincts in now. He's still up 56% to 44. 80,000 votes to 62,000. It's not looking good for Christy Smith, you bubble-headed bimbo bitch. Oh, that's going to get me in trouble. That's sexist. God damn it.
Yeah.
You stupid dickhead. How about that? Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetie?
Morning.
The really interesting thing is I actually looked up the Katie Hill results, and from what I could tell, Wikipedia didn't have it laid out very well. From what I could tell, she won by 9 points.
Is that what it was?
So she won. No, not quite 9. It was like 8.6, I think. And
I wanted to say less than 10, but I wasn't positive, so I just went around 5. That's close.
Yeah, it's a little bit less than 10. But the fact that it's now swinging back, 12%? So
at the moment,
so it indicates that, it doesn't necessarily outright, but indicates that not only are the people that voted for Katie Hill are swinging back to Republicans, but they've now got more people going back to Republicans than what they lost to Katie Hill.
Well, again, it could also be looking it up. I didn't see the vote totals. I didn't even think to pay attention to that. I don't know the turnout right now. If that's, Atema, did I say it right? Fuck.
I think so.
She said that the results are kind of high right now, but I haven't seen that myself. You know what I mean? So it could be that a bunch of people stayed home, or it could be that what we see in our off-year elections, in the congressional elections on the in-between years, excuse me, you tend to have, like in 2018, you had a lower Republican turnout than you had in 2016, because the party in power, their base doesn't get fired up usually for the midterm elections. The other side is fired up because they've been bitching about the president for 2 years by that time. And that could be what it is that the Republicans are fired up right now. They're seeing all the shit that's going on and like, fuck it, we're going to vote.
It's 43,000 votes so far. 43,000 total.
Where?
In the CA 25.
140.
Sorry, 143. Oh yeah, I'm an idiot that can't read apparently.
I was just like, that seems really low. No, yeah, it's 143,000 so far.
Yeah, never mind me. I'm a moron apparently.
Don't say moron because you made a mistake. That would make me a super moron. Do you know how many mistakes I make on this show?
I'm going to stay away from that one.
TA says, fuck this stream. How dare you? Why? It's hump day, first of all. So if you want to hump.
I would be curious with the Democrats as well. I don't know how much this would affect this particular. What is this? Is this like a region or a district, or I don't know how you describe?
It's a district.
Right.
It's kind of part of a county.
Yeah, well, this is for Congress, for the House. So our House seats are broken up by different districts within a state.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
So
yeah,
the districts are for House of Representatives and then senators for the state, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if this applies to this particular district, but I'm wondering how many people were Bernie voters that are just like, well, I don't really want to support the Democrats now because I feel like they've screwed us over, or how many people are just going, look, I don't care about the Democrats. Look at the person I've got trying to go for president, things like that. I don't even know if that affects at district level necessarily.
It can, and that's Cenk Uyghur's thoughts on this, is that the Democrats just aren't united.
Well,
I'm not sure that's it, because I've never seen anything where I can look at an election and be like, yes, they just didn't turn out because they didn't like the candidate. Even with Hillary Clinton, I mean, she still got a shit ton of votes. She really did, 60-some million votes. I don't believe too many people are that petty about it. And I don't mean to say petty, because they put their party over the other party. Thank you, Roto. If cereal is soup, does that make Pop-Tarts ravioli? I've heard that before, and I can get on board with ravioli being, or Pop-Tarts being breakfast ravioli. I wouldn't recommend boiling them, though.
No.
You can if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it, because then you're going to end up with Pop-Tart soup. Hang on just a second, because you mentioned deceptive reporters and stuff, and we talked about old Chucky Todd yesterday, guys. We watched some of his bullshit that they pulled, and he apologized. He's apologized on air, and let's take a look at that, shall we?
Okay.
This is where my producer would already have it on the screen ready to go. All right, here we go.
I wanted to talk for a moment about something that occurred on Sunday's edition of Meet the Press. During the program, we aired a soundbite from a CBS News interview with the Attorney General, Bill Barr. In the bite that we aired and commented on, Mr. Barr was asked how he thinks the history of his decision to end the prosecution of the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn will be written. Mr. Barr answered, quote, "History is written by the winner, so it largely depends on who's writing the history."
Time out right there. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to put this on the screen. All right, we'll do this one there. Hide. There we go. I just accidentally clicked in the wrong spot. What he didn't mention there? He's not wrong. That is absolutely true. That is the quote. But he also said it jokingly. That's important. The context is important, Chuck.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if he necessarily said it jokingly. I think probably to a little bit of a degree. But I think he was saying what is a completely valid point is it depends on who writes the history as to whether this will be considered a fair representation.
So indeed, but he was saying it. I mean, that part of it was in jest, and the next part is the important part.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Full version of the interview and transcript, he went on to say, "But I think a fair history would say that it was a good decision because it upheld the rule of law." Now, we did not edit that out. That was not our...
It would be nice if he said right here, and we spent the entire segment talking about how he didn't say anything about the rule of law.
Yeah, wasn't that the basis of the whole segment?
It was the entire segment.
Yeah. So that is an important thing. I presume you've seen this because I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I presume
this here I haven't seen, but we did. I believe Scribe read the whole thing. I know we read at least part of it on Lords of the Night, and I was losing my shit because you're a liar, you dickhead.
Yeah, because I was going to say if he doesn't actually acknowledge that what their premise was basically the complete opposite of what Bill Barr said.
So you haven't seen this at all?
No, I did catch the transcript. I can't remember what they said on. I was watching Lords of the Night earlier, so
strap in because this is some bullshit.
We didn't include it because we only saw the shorter of 2 clips. We should have looked at both and checked for a full transcript. a mistake that I wish we hadn't made and one that I wish I hadn't made. The second part of the Attorney General's answer would have put it in the proper context. And had I seen that part of the interview, I would not have framed the conversation the way I did. And I obviously am very sorry for that mistake. We strive to do better going forward.
There it is. It wasn't his fault. They saw a short clip and they didn't check for the longer clip. And he wishes he had, because it made him look like a complete lying dickhead.
Yeah, my issue with this is it speaks to, because basically the way that they would, for example, determine news stories that they're going to talk about, or even the way that a news bulletin would look at news stories, is they would have an idea of a news story they're going after. They would pitch it, so on and so forth, and they would go out and look for things to actually support that news story, which is, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, as long as when you do that, you realize, oh, hang on, this isn't quite the story we thought it was, and you change the story. But the thing that annoys me is every time they make the mistake here, it shows what sort of story they were actually going for. And it also sort of indicates that they're not actually as willing to, whether they intended or not, they're not as willing to actually put in the work to make sure they're verifying it. They go, oh, this is going to get Trump, fantastic, let's run with this. Pardon me. Yeah. Let's run with this. Yeah, but you've got to, the idea is that you're always supposed to be verifying.
My problem with it is he's a lying shitbag.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, there's that too.
This is not the right one.
I mean, regardless of what he says, I just think it kind of shows the attitude they have when they're actually running the story. And especially for ones where it's a story that, because a particular news value that you have is going to be timeliness. So, for example, if there is a shooting today, they're not going to report on it next week as, oh, by the way, last week this shooting happened, because that's not how news works. But when they do one where it's kind of an ongoing investigation and they make the mistake because they haven't taken the time to verify, that one really annoys me, because it's a case of, it's not time sensitive. You can take your time. You can, take a bit of time to actually make sure you have it right before you air it.
I get you. Hang on. I'm trying to find the original video. And there's a reason I want to show the original video. Not that one. No, you lying shitbag. All of the videos, I had this, but I watched it on Twitter, not on YouTube, which makes it a lot harder to fucking find. Wait, that one said update. Do you have the original? No, because you're a dickhead. God damn it.
Hang on, are you happy to watch the one from Twitter? I can go find where I sent it to you and just resend it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was the one that sent it yesterday.
You sent it on the hashtag, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be easier to find. Because there's a part I want you guys to watch. It is important. Because look, that was a shorter clip. Holy shit. Shrouded. My goodness. Oh my!
Because if you can't find it, I can just DM it to you. I've got it up and ready to go.
I just got distracted by women.
Yeah, I know what you got distracted by.
It's not my fault. It's Shrouded's fault. Damn. Here it is. All right. Let's pull this up. Put it on that screen so we can see it. Nope. This part is important. Here we go.
Brought up Bill Barr. Peggy Noonan, I want you to listen to this Bill Barr answer to a question about what will history say about this. Wait till you hear this answer. Take a listen.
When history looks back on this decision, how do you think it will be written?
Well, history's written by the winner, so it largely depends on who's writing the history.
All right, hang on. Pay attention to his mouth when they cut this off. When they cut off the fucking volume.
Who's writing the history?
Did you see how his mouth kept going?
Yeah.
And nobody there at NBC was like, he might still be saying more. Maybe we should look into that. I do not believe for a second that they didn't know they were deceptively editing this. Real quick, over on Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Jordan, who says, oh, God damn it. You hear that the Energizer Bunny was arrested, charged with battery. I should send you the corner for that, but I enjoyed it, actually.
Wait, hang on. Don't send people to the corner for dad jokes.
That's what the corner was originally made for.
Yeah. Oh, was it? I just assumed it was people being, painful and annoying.
No, it was originally dad jokes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But anyway, going back to this, you can clearly see he wasn't done talking.
Well, here's another thing. If you listen to the intro there, obviously Chuck Todd has actually seen the clip beforehand, I would presume so. And the way he said it, he goes, you got to listen to what he says here, which means he's listening to the clip and not himself thought, maybe we should double check the full context rather than just use that clip.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I forget which one of you said it a moment ago, but it was just like, this is a way to damn Trump because this is Trump's guy.
Yeah.
And they're only doing this to shield Trump.
Yeah. Which is fine if you've got a story that you've actually verified and you've actually backed up the information and that you've actually, if you just put, it's kind of, how I said before in terms of not a time sensitive one, it reminds me of who was it? Was it Lawrence O'Donnell? Is Lawrence O'Donnell the Stop the Hammering guy?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy that was screaming, where's that hammering coming from? Stop the hammering. Regardless, I think it was him that read online where he goes, Trump is some way connected to Russian oligarchs. And it seems like it might have been a 4chan prank. And then he had to come on the next day and say, you know what, it appears this wasn't a true story and I've sold it as that and I apologize and so on. That one there was one that it wasn't actually being presented as a time sensitive, this is something that needs to be reported on right now, which means that he didn't bother reporting on something that he could have taken even just a day to try and chase down some leads, try to figure it out. So I don't know if it's just that they're not very good at their job or they just don't care if they think they can get Trump with it.
Still no updated results on the election, but God, I want to know the answer. I hate this. They used to actually announce election results the night of the election. Now they're like, oh, we can't count that fast.
Well, at least it's not, what was it? Was it Iowa, the one that they did recently where they took a week because they messed up the system so much?
Yeah.
That was the Iowa Democratic Caucus. Yeah.
And the kid didn't know how to do a coin toss.
And in fairness, I mean, that was the Democratic Party that was in charge of that. This is the state voting.
Yeah.
You guys should be able to fucking count faster. You know he won. Stop it. Stop it.
I do think the point that people made in terms of that, in terms of Iowa, though, was a valid point of you want to run the entire country. You can't even run a single, what I presume would be like a local election or probably a statewide election. That one, was it?
Statewide, yeah.
Yeah. And
so you can't run one state election. How do you expect how can you show that you can run the country? I think that was a pretty valid point in regards to that one.
Just scroll, guys. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get dizzy. Holy shit.
Well, that's not good, man.
No.
Did you eat today?
I did. I ate just before we went live. What the hell did I eat? I had food. I know I chewed something. Sorry. Oh, man. We'll keep pushing, guys. We'll keep pushing to see what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good point from Cannibalistic Wizard. Is they're taking so long because it does take a while to actually make up those, you got
to fill out those ballots yourself.
Yeah.
Looking at this, somebody finally, I see posts with the election results from last time back in 2018. 244,000 people voted. So right now, there's about 100,000 less than voted last time. But again, it depends on which which precincts haven't reported in yet. There could be some really big counties, parts of the county that haven't voted. So we'll see. I'm late. Any word on the results? Virgil says right now, Mike Garcia's up 56-44 over Christy Bobblehead. I forget her fucking name. I don't know why. It's just I just read it a minute ago. I'm fucking losing it quick.
Christy Smith.
Oh, Smith. That's it. Could there be a? Oh, that's right. Because that was my joke when I first found out. Like, could there be a whiter person in the country? Her name is Christy Smith. You couldn't find a Becky to run. The dead haven't voted yet. Well, they voted. They just haven't been counted yet. Takes a little bit longer because dust is all over their ballot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be the latest season of Walking Dead. Is just the Democrats registering voters.
Oh man. Wait, zombies can vote? Yes, they can in certain parts of the country.
Yeah.
Only 54% of Democrats want Biden as their nominee. Too late.
Well, I don't know if it is technically too late yet. Is it? He hasn't been officially announced.
No, that'll be at the convention, but everybody else has dropped out. So
yeah, I mean, it is all but a certainty, but technically, it's probably
But here's the thing: as long as it's over 50%, that headline is meaningless.
Yeah,
literally meaningless because more than half of them want him. That's how. I thought you guys liked democracy.
Oh, it works in their favor.
The thing I'm finding really fascinating with Bernie at the moment, Biden at the moment, is the fact. So Trump, they've had, especially just before he won, I think it might have been just before he won the nomination, or might have been just before he won the election, but they had a bunch of accusers come out, and they had E. Jean Carroll come out recently, and that's always been a big strike that the Dems have set against Trump. They can't do that now, because if they try to do that, everyone can just turn around and go, yeah, but you don't really care about that because you've got Biden there. What are you talking about? Not that they won't still try to use it, but I think they have done themselves a bit of a damage there.
Several people have pointed out they haven't dropped out. They've suspended their campaigns. Suspended is code for dropped out. They've ceased all campaign operations. They hold on to their money until the end, until they have to give it away.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like saying that person's not died; they've just suspended breathing for the moment.
Yeah.
That's what death is.
They technically could they restart it? Sure, but they're also in a hole because Biden has the voting is still kept going on, and Biden's insurmountable pretty much at the moment. But if Biden drops or dies, if Biden drops or dies, I don't think they would go back to voting. I think the DNC would just pick somebody. I really do. I think they would. It's too late for anybody to mount a campaign.
Yeah.
They would just pick someone.
Don't tell that to who was it, Justin Amash? When did he come in? He only came in 2 weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's got no chance in hell anyway. He's running as he's running for the Libertarian Party. He's not their pick yet, and chances are he probably won't be. But fuck. Sorry.
Hang on, was Libertarian the one that had Gary Johnson last time?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got to be better than Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson had some real shockers.
Well, the libertarians in general don't tend to be as, I don't want to say knowledgeable, but they don't have the support staff around them to, because don't for a second think when you see these guys up there that they knew all this shit. They get briefed before they go in and talk to the press.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You can tell they're kind of medium aged. I mean, that was actually one of my majors was what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having a mental blank. Public relations. And you kind of watching them. I'm kind of watching them going, yeah, okay, this is just media management that they're getting.
Yeah, and it's part of the thing. And the libertarians don't have support structure for that.
Yeah, they probably don't have the resources comparative to the two major parties.
They could. I mean, they have resources, but they tend to try to go for a more authentic showing. And when you're talking about every topic in the world, that's not a good idea. There's just too many things. I'm a pretty knowledgeable guy, and there's a whole bunch of shit I know I don't know. I could be briefed on it and then give you my opinion on it, like what happens in Congress and in elections. But I mean, unless I'm paying particular attention to something, how the fuck would I even know that? It's a good way to make people think you're smart, though. Just make sure you're briefed properly.
Yeah.
According to this, let's see, this is a Rasmussen poll. Survey of 1,000 voters. Among likely voters, 36% of Democrats said that they need to find someone other than Biden. 45% disagree, and 19% are undecided. But 82% think Biden is the likely nominee, with 63% who say that's very likely. Of course, he's the fucking nominee. Nobody else is running. You fucking morons. Sorry, guys. Oh, my God.
That's all right.
I think you're going to see a big push real quick to get Biden to name a VP.
Yeah.
They've already started that, and that's a little early even. But he's going to name a VP, so if something happens to him, that will be the nominee.
Yeah, and I think that's probably something that Trump and the Republicans need to attack, because the way you guys vote for your leader is different to how we have it here. But way back in, must have been 2007, we had a prime minister. He'd served at that point for about 11 years, I think. And coming up to the 2007 election, there was a lot of question as to whether he was even going to still be there for a full term. And so there was a lot of talk of, you're not necessarily voting for him, you're voting for the second in charge, because if he drops out, that guy's going to run. And I think a lot of people didn't end up voting for the party, because we vote for the party, and whichever party wins, basically whoever they choose is the prime minister.
Right, you guys do it very much like the Brits do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're part of the Commonwealth, so yeah.
That's right. You guys still are under the Queen, aren't you?
We are technically. Technically, we have a representative of the Queen that can actually fire the prime minister.
In chat, I want to address a couple of things. Esoteric Nightmares has said two things. One, has to be a woman, right? It doesn't have to be, but Biden said it definitely will be. He also said, didn't Klobuchar let it slip a couple months ago that it was her? I think Klobuchar was angling to say it would be her. I think there's a lot of people who dropped out of this race who were probably promised positions in the cabinet. And several of them, except for the guys who were like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm not going to be VP. Several of the women think they are going to be the VP nominee. And the only one that I can see from the race that might be is maybe Harris, because he's going to go with a woman of color, guys. He's not going with a honky chick. He's just not. So I don't want to say he's not, because things happen. They might surprise me. We don't know, but he's not going with a honky chick. I just can't see him doing that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think people, if they don't feel like they're voting for a full termer, I'm not sure they're necessarily going to, because we've actually had, it's been really messy in Australia. We've had so at the 2010 election, just before that, the guy that was prime minister, because of the way that where our system's set up, the guy that was prime minister, we all woke up one day and, oh yeah, by the way, he's out. And so I can't remember what position she held, but there's a new woman that's now actually running. She barely won the 2010 election. I think that was the one she won only by negotiating with independents to actually get enough power to actually run.
Right.
And then they swapped back to the guy that was originally back towards the end of 2013. and they lost that one to the what is essentially our Conservative Party. There was a guy that then switched, that then kicked out the current one. We seriously have not had a full-term prime minister since the end of 2007 was the last one that actually reached full term.
Oh, wow.
We've not had a full one since then, I don't think. So it's been a bit chaotic. But yeah, I think, I mean, I could be wrong there, but I think people want to vote for the person they know is going to stay there short of some sort of tragedy happening.
Yeah.
It's been brought up in chat that Camel Toe there, Kamala Harris, that she called Biden a racist during the primary.
Technically she didn't. She said, "I'm not calling you racist."
Right. She specifically said that.
But then she went and say, "But why are you being racist about? Why were you racist about this thing?"
Once again, guys, in the primaries, the Democrats were actually rather what's the word I'm looking for here? Subdued this time. Usually they go at each other pretty hard, and sometimes you haven't seen it as much in recent elections, but if you go back even as far or as early as 1980, George Bush and Ronald Reagan went at each other pretty hard. George Bush is the one who came up with voodoo economics to describe Reaganomics, trickle down. They went at each other pretty hard, and then Reagan made him his VP. It happens because, you have these people who are running against each other for the same job, and you still might need that person. So it was really weird. That's why I was so weirded out most of this election at how nice everybody was being to one another. Like, you need to go after him. You got to show that you want to win this.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I think a couple of them said it, but I think it might have been Cory Booker that's standing out to me. It was someone who kind of said, "Well, we can't be attacking each other." It's like, you're basically fighting for the same job. You have to attack each other because you have to be, you don't have to necessarily do it aggressively, but you have to be saying, this is why this person's bad for the job, and this is why I'm going to be good for the job. Yes. So on some level, you have to attack them. So I don't know. The people that kept saying that, I'm like, what are you talking about? That's kind of the whole point.
Well, they were trying to be the good guy, trying to be the one who brings everybody together. And instead, they just, especially Cory Booker. Cory Booker has the ability to be charismatic, and instead he came off looking like a giant pussy. There's a difference between we should come together and, oh dear God, what a puss.
Well, I got a Streamlabs from Jordan. He says, "Monkey can't send me to the corner because my dad jokes are corniest."
Go to the corner. Go to the corner-ear.
Yeah.
And now everyone's comparing Australian politics to abortion. I didn't think about that. But technically, it's true. We don't let our prime ministers reach full term, so
they get aborted before it's time to come out. Faithless says Booker's a bitch. Yeah, and he showed it. Mr. This is my Spartacus moment. If he'd actually had a Spartacus moment, he might have caught a little bit of fire.
I can't even remember what that was in reference to, but I heard that and I'm like, I haven't even seen the movie. I'm not sure I understand what the Spartacus reference is supposed to be. Have you just thrown it out because people know it's a word and you think, oh, that'll catch
something, standing up there and taking a stand knowing it's going to come back and hurt you. Except for with that, he lied.
Well, but even with that, when Spartacus stood up, then everyone else stood up and basically took the same position. And I can't remember what it was, but I don't think it was something that other people were clamoring to go, oh, yeah, we'll stand by you as well.
He released some information. I forget what the fuck it was. What was it he was releasing, guys? It's been a while. This goes back to, does this go back to the Russian investigation? I can't remember. I honest to God, it's been so long, especially in political terms, man. It's been forever ago.
Yeah.
Kavanaugh?
Yeah, I agree with Faithless. I have a feeling it was something to do with Kavanaugh, wasn't it? I think. I could be wrong.
But yeah, I'm going to release this information, and they're like, we already released it.
Yeah, that's right. It was too. It was kind of
it was already released. It had already been declassified.
Hmm.
And like, go fuck yourselves. I mean, what Spartacus thing did you do here?
So essentially, that would be equivalent to a bunch of people standing up going, "Oh, I'm Spartacus," and then going, "Oh, we've already executed Spartacus. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
It's like,
Anyway.
well, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it was just fucking asinine. But in the world of politics, you can get over that stuff because not everybody watches politics the way we do. A lot of people just watch it in passing until it comes time for an election, and then they pay attention.
Yeah, and most people don't pay to their local government either.
Indeed. You can get away with a lot of stuff in politics because people don't pay attention.
Actually, I'd be curious if that's why Trump seems like he's actually running pretty well at the moment, is because people, they just have nothing but time to verify if they see something in the media and they go, no, it doesn't sound right. They've got nothing but time to actually verify it and determine that they're full of it.
Well, I think the media is in a really weird place. The media is not sure how to deal with this. And it's one of the reasons they went after YouTube so hard, is that for the existence of broadcast media, they have been able to just tell the people what to think. I mean, Mika Brzezinski or whatever her fucking name is, Mika Scarborough. She came out there. It's our job to tell them what to think. And look at what happened with Chuck Todd. If the internet didn't exist, nobody would know that happened. Nobody would know what that dirty little motherfucker did. But the internet comes out and like, excuse me, we watched that. They don't know how to deal with what's going on right now. Yeah. And Trump being out there every day doing his press conferences and them go, look at what he lied about this time. Like, but he didn't lie. We can actually see it because all we have to do is go to YouTube, go to Twitter, and just look it up. Look it up.
Yeah. It's painful watching them ask questions because there's no issue with a gotcha question if it's based in some sort of, I don't know how to say it. If it's based in some sort of reasonable, maybe data or reasonable, in terms, a lot of their gotcha questions are just Trump bad. How can we make Trump look bad? And some of them are just frustrating. Like the one where he was saying to the guy, what do you say to people? Because there was that guy who initially said to him, don't you think you're providing people false hope in terms of I think it was the hydroxychloroquine or however you pronounce it?
Oh, yeah, the chloroquine, yeah.
And Trump went on and he talked about it and he said, look, I don't know whether it's going to work. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm an optimistic guy, so I'm really hoping that it does. And he goes, well, what do you say to people that are scared? It's like, hang on, you were literally just accusing him of providing people with false hope. And now you're saying, what is he going to say to the people who are without hope and who are scared? So you're just basically throwing out every question you can to try and figure out which one is going to be the gotcha for in Trump's response, I suppose.
Virgil, thank you so very much. Politics is my football. It's my football too, although football is my football as well. Caramon says the media prefers narrative over fact. It's propaganda. I agree. And Faithless said networks are no longer in bubbles. It's not just that networks were in bubbles. I mean, they protected each other. There's a lot of times where the media could have told on each other and they didn't. As for what you said there, Caramon, the media prefers a narrative. I was talking with I think it was Polly today when I was talking about this. Shit, I lost it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so dizzy right now. I'm trying. Fuck, what was I talking with Polly about? Shit, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Fuck.
Yeah, but I think the problem is the media has kind of flipped what their role was, which was it used to be they would tell us what the truth was and we would determine for ourselves whether it was right or wrong. Now they're telling us what is right or wrong and we have to determine whether it's the truth.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at with what I was going to say. They really do seem, Mika, for whatever you think of that bitch, and whether you think she meant to say what she said or not, I think she meant what she said. I don't think she meant to say it. I don't think she meant to say it at all.
Yeah, the sentiment was absolutely what she thinks, but it was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, indeed. And they really do. How many times, guys, have we? I'm going to be a journalist because I want to change things. That's not your job as a journalist.
Yeah, that's one thing that really jumped out at me. I think it was either first semester or second semester of degree. It was really early on because we're going through the different forms that journalism can take. So it was things like, a long form journalism, print, audio, visual, whatever. And one of the ones that, pardon me, one of the ones that came up was activism journalism. And even before I learned hardly anything, I heard that and I went, hang on, that doesn't make sense. That's
right?
Actually the antithesis of what journalism is.
You're supposed to be telling the story, not being the story.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's what they meant when they were telling us about activism journalism, but just the idea when I heard that, I went, even if it's not about you being the story, activism journalism by default means you're trying to put forward a viewpoint. You're not just trying to present the facts.
Yes.
So I heard and I went, hang on, that doesn't make sense. How can that even be a form of journalism? That doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with Faithless. He says that just is the job of an investigative journalist. I don't know if he's referring to what we're talking about, but yeah, there's an investigative journalist.
Hang on. We need to separate those two and what they are, because I get what Faithless is saying there. There are activist journalists who are like, okay, this is a bad thing. We need to go out and expose it, and you could look at them and say, yes, that's an activist. Especially if they have a certain thing they go after. John Stossel, for example. Not John Stossel. Chris Hansen. That's what I meant to say. Chris Hansen, his thing became going after predators. That's a form of activism and something that he did, and he is a journalist. Okay, that's but it was investigative journalism to do this, and it was to stop something bad. It wasn't to go out there and push his politics on people. It wasn't to go out there and be like, okay, we need to figure out how to make people love Republicans. And that's what activism journalism is right now, or at least the vast majority of it. It's not to go out there and make the world a better place by exposing, toxins that are being put out into the air by some fucking company that's not following EPA standards.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because something like that, that's just journalism. That's literally, this is something that affects the community, and so we need to report about it. That's literally just what journalism is.
Yeah, but what I get with that, I mean, if that's their whole thing is, okay, I'm going to go find stories about environmental hazards, that would be an activism of sorts. See what I'm saying? Because it would be a specific line. You're not just out there looking for the story wherever the story may be. You're looking for a very specific story. And I'm okay with that. I am. I'm not okay with Donald Trump is lying to you all the time. He said burgers went a mile high.
Oh, that one blew my mind. But the amazing thing about that one is not just the burgers went a mile high. That article was about 2,000 words. It was a long-form article. Mm-hmm. It was a long-form article about Trump served burgers at the White House. Why was that a 2,000? I mean, it may have been even more. I'm like, why was that a 2,000?
Because they need the word count.
It was
real quick.
It was mind-blowing.
Several people are worried about it. Guys, I have eaten. I'm just a little dizzy. I'll be okay. I'm just occasionally I will lose where I'm at because I'm trying very hard to concentrate right now. Sorry about that. Danger.
Yeah, as long as it's not too bad. I'm on blood pressure medication. I do remember one day where I was literally so dizzy. I'm like, I'm about to pass out and fall over. So I got on the ground and crawled to my bed because I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right. Only time it's ever happened, so I don't know what's happened. But
no, yeah. I'm okay for now, guys. Believe me, I'll let you know if I have to stop.
Okay. But in terms of that article, that was like, 2, maybe even 3,000 words. They had diagrams. They were describing it. It's like, it's literally.
It would go to the moon, you guys. These fucking
and Faithless. There's the 2 Scoop story as well that CNN did. But the thing was
Ice
that
cream.
CNN, they didn't even do that by themselves. They were quoting, I think, Time magazine.
CNN doesn't do much of their own stuff. If you notice, guys, almost everything they write, it's according to someone else. Because they're a bunch of fucking. That's why I tell you guys, if they're journalists, I'm a journalist.
And
you have California in your title, so no wonder you're getting dizzy. I don't think they're doing any more counting tonight, guys. I will update and see if we have any new. No, this one actually even still has the old numbers.
And to Faithless, I actually still have that story up somewhere on one of my browsers. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was Business Insider. I think it might have been the Australian version, so something for me to be proud of. They did a story about when Trump meets with people, his salt and pepper shakers are larger than theirs are.
I didn't see that one. Jesus Christ.
I've still got it up. I could probably send it to you sometime. I'm just looking at that going, I'm Peter Griffin at that point of, oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yeah, they just want to bash on Trump.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's so much that CNN, apart from the ice cream story, they did a story about how Trump shakes hands with. They did the story about how he offended witches with calling it a witch hunt. MSNBC did a complaint when he went to what was the place that got hit by, a hurricane or something? Not Puerto Rico, was it?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So even then, Morning Joe was complaining. It's like, look at him throwing paper towels out to the crowd. Who cares? Why is that something you need to go up?
Oh, dear God. This is something. Sorry, I don't mean to even change the subject, but I was scrolling the Twitter here. Miss Undoomed, for those of you who don't know, that's Undoomed's lady. She tweeted out this thing from somebody, and her reply is, I physically feel like I'm going to throw up seeing this. Have an abortion or don't. I'm pro-choice. But this isn't about being able to take care of a baby. This is eugenics. And this is what she's responding to. I'm pregnant, having a scan soon to find out if it's a girl or an abortion.
Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah.
Fuck you.
And I bet you any money if you said to that woman, oh, we're getting rid of our baby because it turns out it's going to be a girl, she would lose it.
Thank you, Jordan, who says, do you think Snoop Dogg uses an umbrella? Faux dizzle. Jordan, thank you for the donation and the bad joke. Boban, thank you so much. Democrats are criminally insane. Some.
Yeah.
The not necessarily criminally insane, but the Hillary thing when America had the most raw data numbers of coronavirus, yay, America number one. I just saw that and just thought it took me back to the we saw, he died thing. I'm like, what is wrong with you that you're so cavalier and almost jovial about people dying?
Well, if this is, for the criminally insane, I do think some are. I really do. Because they will absolutely celebrate death of people who didn't harm them in any way. They'll talk about, oh no, but they want people to suffer. No, they don't. Most people aren't evil. Most people are not evil. They have different ideas than you. And this, guys, I'm listening to, or I'm talking to everyone right now. Not Democrats, not Republic, everyone. Most people, even if they disagree with you, they aren't horrible people. They have different ideas. They still want everything. They want people to be happy and they want people to be taken care of.
Yeah.
There's just different ideas on it. Now, that's not everybody. There are some of them who are fucking insane.
Yeah, they just want.
Go ahead.
We just want bread lines, because it's a good thing.
At least with the bread lines, you get bread.
The thing I find really funny is people these days that would celebrate bread lines would be the same people that would complain because the bread that was being offered wasn't gluten-free.
Right, yeah. Is this gluten-free? I can't eat this. I'm gonna have to get a different line. Can I talk to your manager, please?
Yeah, that's right. What do you mean this is the only type of bread you're providing in the bread line? It's like, well, it's a bread line. You don't get a choice. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some of them who are absolutely insane, and a lot of them are on Twitter, you guys. It's why I enjoy Twitter. It is a dumpster fire, and I love it. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful thing, and you should embrace it.
Yeah.
And if you've been kicked off, get your ass back on there. Mike has been kicked off 38 times. You can do it. Fucking Mike. I love Mike Headley. If you guys don't follow Mike Headley, go find him on Twitter. I think it's Mike Headley 39 right now. He numbers it every time he's kicked off.
I just use Twitter to post my cooking videos.
I use it to get annoyed. I didn't do much of that today.
That is one thing with Twitter is I do find myself getting really furious. I think, Grant, I think I've only been blocked by one person because I was trying to explain to them why, and I don't know why an Australian has to explain this to her, why the Electoral College is a good thing in the United States.
Mm.
And she was kind of going, well, we should have national popular vote. And I kind of said, well, surely if there's a worry that you can actually have voter fraud, because I think she'd actually brought that up. I said, surely if you're concerned about voter fraud, then you want 50 separate votes rather than one big one that you could always have to worry about whether it was a legitimate vote. And she goes, oh, but we have laws for that. I'm like, yeah, but the legal system can only deal with laws that have been broken.
Miles, thank you so much. Hey, Monkey, Dangerous Spaces, is that you from Beauty and the Beta during the call-in shows?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah.
There you go. And Boban, thank you again. If you think the Democrats collectively suffer from cognitive dissonance, selective amnesia, paranoia, and TDS, yes, they are bloody insane. Just look at their presidential nominee. Once again, hashtag not all. There are some actually reasonable Democrats out there. It's harder and harder to find because they're watching too much Chuck Todd. It's amazing to me how many times I have to correct them about what's actually going on in the world. And it's like, no, motherfucker, don't take my word for it. I'm not the mainstream media. Look it up. Don't take my fucking word for it. And that goes for you guys out there too. If I say something and you're like, Monkey said that, do not ever say Monkey said that as your backing. Go look it the fuck up. Yeah. Anyhow, I want to change subjects briefly, gentlemen.
Okay.
Because we're about an hour and a half in. I'm barely with you guys. And I want to push through, and this was a funny story I saw. Joe Biden says AOC has joined policy panel created with Bernie Sanders.
Policy panel, does that do?
Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has joined one of the joint policy committees Joe Biden has created with Bernie Sanders, according to Biden. The presumptive Democratic nominee name-dropped AOC to show his campaign is trying to make inroads with the progressive wing of the party and develop new policies together. This is going to be great, you guys.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. The good news is that Bernie has robustly endorsed me, Biden said during an interview. Was it robust? Was it? Did you guys see his endorsement?
Oh, probably. You'll have to refresh my memory on it.
Look, Joe, there's nobody else, so I'm going to vote for you. It's not like he was at go Joe Biden, go Joe Biden. No, it was quite clearly I have to do this, so I'm going to do it, and I want to beat Trump anyway. I believe firmly that Bernie Sanders wants to beat Trump. Well, I just think he's only endorsing Biden because he has to. It's literally part of the contract to have run on the Democratic ticket.
Yeah, which I look at, and I wonder how people actually reacted to Bernie endorsing Biden, because to this day, I hold a certain level of respect. I don't know if you remember this back from 2016. Ted Cruz didn't actually, I don't think at any stage, endorse Donald Trump for the presidency. And as the years have gone on, he seems like he has a more reasonable relationship with Trump. But to this day, I kind of respect that of you didn't believe in him, so you didn't endorse him. So,
I still think he voted for Trump. Oh
yeah, quite possibly, yeah.
This is a bid to get Bernie Sanders voters over to Biden, and good luck with that.
Yeah,
tying your name to AOC. Are you out of your fucking? Well, yeah, he is, but are you out of your fucking mind?
Well, regardless, I don't think Bernie voters are going to look and go, "Oh, well, you still talking to Bernie?" No, they wanted Bernie in.
Yeah.
I don't think just going, "Oh, look, he's working with us. Please come over and vote for us." I don't think that's going to work because that's not what they wanted.
This time, they don't seem as upset as they did last time. They don't seem as mad about the whole process like they were in 2016.
I think it'd be a question of, are they just as mad or are they just not as vocal? Because I think quite possibly they're just as annoyed, but they're just like, oh, yeah, well, here we go again. They kind of just resign themselves to it this time, I think.
Well, I think I see what you're saying there, but I think that we also had during the 2016 election the Russian hacking scandal, which brought out that, the DNC was actively working against Bernie, and we don't have anything like that right now. You can kind of point to the problems that happened in the primary early on. There's a lot of people, how come the media? But it was the media, not the DNC this time. And I know, guys, same thing still. It was the media and not the Democrats with their little greasy paws all over it. Boban, thank you so much. Jimmy Dore, Tim Pool, etc. You can count the sane Democrats with one hand. The rest just enjoy being dumb. Thank you for the donation. I'm not arguing with you that there's dumb ones out there.
Well, that probably depends how dumb are they, because maybe it's not that they enjoy being dumb. They're just so dumb they don't realize they're dumb, and therefore they're kind of just, it's more obliviousness.
Grisella, have a great night, sir.
Yeah, good night, man.
I think there's a lot of them who do. They take their news from the mainstream media. And once again, I want to remind everybody, yes, television viewing is down, but they're still reading MSNBC and CNN and NBC, CBS, ABC online. Mm-hmm. They're still getting it from those same sources, just not in the old traditional way. And
I do. Sorry, I just want to point something out, because you did mention, and maybe I misunderstood you, but you kind of talked about media bubble before. I think someone brought it up in the chat.
Yeah.
It was back in 2016. I don't know if you ever saw this article, and I think it was Politico of all places, pointed out that for journalists, about 3/4, I think it was about 73 or 74%, live in blue districts. 51% lived in blue districts that Hillary won by, I believe, 20 points.
Yeah.
So I think they're very much in a bubble. There's a lot of them that are surrounded by people just giving them the same information that they believe themselves.
They when they do polling of these guys and ask them, how did you vote? It's astounding. They vote like 90% plus for Democrats. I can't remember the last time I saw one of those polls. I think they stopped doing them because they were so embarrassed. But yeah, like 90% of mainstream journalists vote for Democrats. And that's okay, guys. It is. The problem is they're not even trying anymore to keep their politics out of their reporting. It would be impossible to get somebody who has no opinion to write an article, because anybody with no opinion isn't going to care enough to want to write the fucking article. It's okay to be a Democrat and write a news story or tell a news story on the television. The problem is when you're doing it as a Democrat.
Well, I think the other problem is if you know that you have political bias, it's not even necessarily that you have to recuse yourself, but in theory, you should be able to take it to a colleague that you know holds the opposite viewpoint and say, can you look over this? Can you see any points where I've maybe got a blind spot? It's kind of hard to do that if you're working at a place where basically everyone agrees with you.
Right.
It's a little bit difficult to do that.
I know you agree with me. We see if you agree with me. No, you're not wrong there, but I look forward. Biden bringing AOC into this makes me very happy. It really does, because now Trump can run AOC ads.
Look, maybe I've missed something, but you remember back in the day of the Green New Deal, however long ago that was?
Oh, yeah.
Did they ever release the so-called final draft? Because remember how they said, "Oh, that was just a draft copy. That wasn't the final thing." Have they? I don't think they've ever actually released a final copy, have they? Or maybe I've just missed it.
No, they did. They did. I can't remember what exactly it says. It's almost the same basic points. It just doesn't have the wording about we're going to take care of people whether they work or not. Everybody went, excuse me. And it doesn't have, what was the other one that they got rid of that was really fucking stupid?
There's the cow farts one.
Oh yeah, the cows, they took that out. There were a couple of them that they took out. Yeah, there's a final draft up there, but it's really vague bullshit. If you go to Bernie Sanders for president, he basically had it up there.
Okay. Because I just, but everything in that you look at and go, this is either ridiculously unrealistic or it's just stupid.
Faithless says the Dems still claim to be for the Green New Deal, though none voted for it. Yeah, that was a great thing the Republicans did. And they're lucky. They're lucky that it didn't actually get passed through. They brought the Green New Deal up for a vote. And the Democrats are like, I'm not voting for that horrible shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. P-Dog Knight should be an ad man. The ad with Biden's policy advisor staring at a garbage disposal would be classic.
Yeah, right? She's a goddamn moron. And I'm not saying that because, you just hate AOC. No, she's a fucking moron.
Yeah. Here's the thing. She's competent enough to talk like she knows what she's talking about. Like she can word it in a way where she sounds confident, but kind of once you start pushing her on it, it's kind of, you don't really know what you're talking about, do you? What was it?
That's what happened with the 12 years thing.
Well, yeah, there was. Oh, that one was painful. Yeah, it was just a joke, guys. Yes, because normally it's very humorous to compare the end of the world to World War II. That's a great joke. You need to hire a new writer because that material is not working for you.
We watched that clip on this show, and if you watch it, because she tries to pull that. She's like, no, I was just joking. No, you weren't, bitch. No, you weren't. Well, again, you told the joke part about Republicans and how stupid they are. And then you brought in the reality of we only have 12 years to live, guys. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, well, again,
you're a moron.
She compared it to World War II, and again, I'm not sure how that's a joke that you're comparing it to World War II, because the whole point of World War II was it was, devastating and massive casualties and stuff. Like, where's the joke in that?
Right. Excuse me. All right, we might have to wrap here in a few minutes. But no, the ads will write themselves on this because she's a goddamn moron. She really is.
Yeah.
But even the garbage disposal, it's people look, even if you don't know what it is, why would you go on a live stream to try and figure out from people what is this thing? Look it up or ask someone.
She did. No, there was a reason she did that. She did that on purpose.
Yeah.
That was done on purpose so that she could be like the little people. She could be like the poor people who can't afford a garbage disposal. That's how she grew up poor, you guys. She was so poor she never even saw a garbage disposal. She was lying. That's what it was, a lie to try to. The same thing is that's what we look like, or whatever the fuck she said when she was doing that fake ass whatever that. I don't even know what that accent was supposed to be.
Yeah, this was the amazing thing. I think that was just after she had lost the Amazon jobs at wherever they were going to build.
Yeah.
And then she went out on stage, and what she was saying was, the kind of basic low paying jobs, if you flip burgers, ain't nothing wrong with that, and stuff like that. She was talking about all these low paying jobs. I'm like, that's probably not something you want to go out and say to people after you've just lost, what was it, 75,000 jobs in a district?
25,000. Bon, thank you so much. That is very kind of you. Trump is really an orange. Peel the skin before enjoying the delicious taste. The left eats the whole fruit, skin and all, then concludes the orange is inedible. This is the difference between his supporters and haters. Fair enough. That's a good way to look at it.
But that was something that amazed me. I looked at that and went, she's basically saying to all these people, all these crappy jobs, there's nothing wrong with having those jobs, which, I agree with it. There's not. But I'm surprised no one jumped on that after she'd just cost a bunch of what would have been decent paying jobs that no one jumped on that and said, oh.
There were a lot of people who jumped on her for it. Real quick, Polo says, "Hello, Monkey. It's my birthday. Will I get a song or will you ignore me like last year?" I am so sorry I ignored you last year. Of course you'll get a song. And I won. And you guys can sing along. If you don't, are you guys going to sing?
No, not at all.
No, I might.
You won't have viewers afterwards.
Okay, I need one of you to volunteer to speak or do the shubop, whatever you want to do in between verses.
All right.
All right. Which one of you's doing it?
I'll do it, I guess.
All right. You can say whatever you want. It's just you got to say something or make some sound. Polo, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Boop, boop, boop.
Happy birthday to you.
Ba-da-da-da.
Happy birthday to you this year and last year.
Do-do-do-do-boop.
Happy birthday to you.
Ba-da.
Happy birthday, Polo. I'm so sorry I missed it last year, and I hope you have a great one this year.
Yeah. Happy birthday, man.
Well done. Cook, that was very well done.
Yeah, thank you.
The AOC support is from outside her district. Yeah, a lot of it is. And Faithless has been pointing out a lot of things. The whole debate thing that she pulled, the conservatives won't debate me. And Shapiro went, I'll do it. He's a sexist. He's not entitled to my time. Nobody said
she said he was catcalling, which I think everyone looked at and went, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, except it wasn't everyone. She still had supporters who were like, yeah, why are you?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, besides her support, the reasonable people that aren't insane and support her. I mean,
well, the thing is, it was the press who was part of that. And this is what I was getting at, guys, when I said there are smart liberals.
You said the press were also in, again, not the insane people. I did say that.
There are smart liberals out there, but this is what they're being fed constantly. Constant lies. And I don't blame them for that. I do blame them for not going and looking because they've been lied to enough that they should know better by now. And there is this whole tribalism bullshit that's causing a big problem because they won't go fucking look.
Yeah. Well, my problem with a lot of liberals, they're actually progressives, not liberals. They just
fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh God, guys, I'm so sorry. I've got to wrap.
All right, that's fine.
No, you're right.
I tried, you guys. We made it to an hour and 43 minutes.
Yeah, that's good.
We got a birthday song in. I didn't say anything I think is going to get me really in trouble, except for the whole dick sucking thing at the beginning.
It happens.
So yeah, not a bad show.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thank you very much for the donations. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Polo, have a wonderful birthday. Cook, anything you would like to shill tonight, my friend?
Well, I'm going to show my cooking channel. I make the best food porn on YouTube with videos that are short, straight to the point, and my next video is going to be a salmon cooked in a pouch in the oven. And this Sunday at 3 p.m. PST, I'm going to be having a cooking live stream with your boy Pat and the Harry channel. So you guys can check it out. That should be a lot of fun.
What time did you say that was?
3 p.m. PST Pacific time.
In the real world, that's 6, guys. 6. Yeah. Dangerous. Anything you want to show?
Not particularly at this point. If I actually get off my ass and do some work and maybe start making videos or something, I might have something next time.
Fair enough. Fuck, it's Wednesday, right? Hump day.
Yep.
Go out there and hump, guys. Don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
We will be on my channel 9 p.m. Eastern time for Lords of the Night, and then I'm going to try to do a game stream. We don't have one scheduled on 2 Cents Plus, but over on Ranting Monkey Games, I will figure out what game I'm going to play and start something tonight. So, guys, please come hang out. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching Cook. Dangerous, guys. Thank you for joining me, everybody.
All right, you have a good one, man.
Enjoy your day. Oh, Boban, thank you. AOC, Tlaib, Omar, Maxine, Pelosi, the caliber of Democrat star power. Have a nice day.
I swear they do that just as you're about to sign off, just to mess with you.
Yeah.
A couple of people have caught me, and then I have to say thank you in chat, and I always feel bad. But thank you so much for the donation. Everybody, enjoy your hump day. We'll see you next time.
Have fun.
See you guys later.